Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Christmas card time again, and for some reason I decided I needed to give myself an extra challenge. So stay tuned and let's see how that went. So the first video of this year was actually me working on last year's Christmas cards. I will leave a link if you'd like to go check that out. So I want to get this one a little earlier this year. Maybe some of you will have time to actually try these before Christmas. So I did something similar last year in that I used these watercolor cards by Strathmore. They're 140 pound. I do not believe they are cotton. And you can just paint watercolor right on these cards and then you fold them and they come with envelopes. But I don't particularly like doing that. First of all, the paper, because it's not cotton, is not the best, although it's not the worst. I have actually painted on it, and the results of the painting are not too bad, but it warps the paper, which I don't like that my card is then warped. So what I do is I will be painting on an extra piece of paper and then I will be sticking it on here, which is what I did last year. But this year, I decided, because I didn't really 100% know what I wanted to paint this year, and some time ago I got these Daniel Smith dot card boxes. So each box holds 36 dot cards and they're arranged in these cute little curated palettes of 4 colors. So I thought that it would be cool to try to challenge myself to make paintings out of just the colors on any particular card. And I thought I might as well tie that in with Christmas cards this year. So I am going to go through some of these cards and I'm going to pick out some of these color combinations that they have here and see what kind of designs I can think of for Christmas cards. Let's get that going. First, I got to get myself some paper cut. Hi guys, Editing Wendy here. So I just realized that this is going to be a very long video. So I have decided to break it up into 2 or maybe 3 parts. So here's the first part. I hope you enjoy. So the paper I've decided to use for these cards is Baohong watercolor paper. It is, I believe, a Chinese brand of watercolor paper that is 100% cotton. It also is 140 pounds, but a little bit of a spoiler, as we'll see, it does warp quite a bit. It seems to be like a very thin 140 pounds. But yeah, that's the paper I'm using. Okay, so I have my paper all cut down and I've got 11 4x6 rectangles here, which will fit nicely on the 5x7 watercolor cards that I have. There's a couple of little scrap cutoffs here so I can do some little mini paintings or just use them to test colors. It's a good idea to keep your scraps so that you can test colors on the paper that you're working on before you put it on your project. Yeah, so next, okay, so here are all the different dot cards that come in these boxes. This box has the Mineral Marvels, which is, it's their Primatech paints. And then this one's just called Watercolor Confetti, and it's just a random assortment of some of their paints. And some of these are calling to me like these iridescent ones as far as Christmas vibes, but I don't have a lot of experience with iridescent sort of shimmery watercolor. So I think I'm going to start with some low-hanging fruit here. And this Green Gems is kind of calling to me, and of course I'm getting some Christmas tree vibes. So I think I'm going to try to do some Christmas tree designs. Let's see what I can come up with. Okay, I have 3 taped down to this. Okay, this is actually the lid. It's just a plastic lid to my old plastic watercolor palette. And it was the only surface I had that I could tape down 3 cards at a time. I want to try to do this a little bit assembly line-ish. And so I'll do 3 at a time. And I was thinking for my first design, Do you know, have you ever seen those like abstract art where they will paint like a swatch, like just a long strip of watercolor and then another strip of a different color and kind of like just bump into it just ever so slightly to let some of the colors mingle? I'm thinking about trying something like that, but in a tree form. And because I don't trust myself to actually do it proportionally, I've put this triangle tape guide so that I can try to remember to, you know, evenly keep them as a triangle, making like a tree shape. So yeah, let's get painting. Okay, so I'm all set up. I got my little green gems dot card. The 4 colors on this card are Amazite Genuine, Jadeite Genuine, Fuchsite Genuine, and Serpentine or Serpentine Genuine. All greens, which is why I was sort of thinking Christmas trees, although I guess I could have done wreaths, but I got the triangles already taped out. And I'm going to use a flat brush. I'm going to use this one or this one. No, I think I'm going to use this one. This is a 1/2 inch Cotman brush, 13 millimeter, and it's a flat brush, so I can get myself some big strips of color that, you know, bleed into each other. Whew, a little nervous, I don't know why, but let's give this a go. Which one do I want to start with? Well, I love jadeite, so let's just start with jadeite. Get some color here. First line, here we go. Okay, well, these first 3 trees did not turn out the way I had wanted them to or the way I had hoped, so instead of making you watch me do them for nothing, we're gonna skip ahead to my second try. Okay, so here are those ones with the tape taken off of them, and again, I think I made the trunks too long. I think they would have looked better like maybe like that. And I was kind of hoping for more dramatic watercolor fun in those little strips. But what I'm going to do on the second set, I wanted the trees to be a little bigger. I lowered this line, and I want to make my widest base one a little bit wider than on the last one, so I just gave myself some extra room for that. And I'm also not going to use this serpentine. 1, because there's not really enough left on the dot card, and 2, because I don't really like it in that mix. So I'm hoping to get some juicier, washier bits of color this time. And I'm going to go 1 tree at a time so that I can get all the way up the tree, and then each strip of paint below it will still be wet, you know? This is what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so starting with Amazonite this time, I'm going to just come out wider here and give myself my nice long, wide strip of paint. Oops. That'll be a part where I can bump up into the next one. And I'm gonna go into the Fuchsite, the little metallic-y one. It's difficult to make the lines look natural, yet still bump into each other. For me, anyways. And I'll just tap them together like that. There we go. And jadeite. Jadeite's the darkest of them. And it also has a bit of a separation. With some browny bits and some greeny bits. Need more water. Ooh, that one really pushed right up in there and pushed that jadeite right out of the way. Tap it there. Maybe here. Trying to fake the natural flow of it. And I'm just going to mix different sort of tints. Get some lighter tints and some darker tints of these 3 colors. That's pretty. Let's mix the dark green one and some of the sparkly green. Need some more of that blue to balance out what's going on at the bottom of the tree. And by blue, I mean Amazonite. Ah, the same thing went over the tape again. Not really that big of a deal, but I don't like it. There, that gave a little bit of more interestingness. I don't know if these would, if I had picked different colors, if this maybe would have turned out better. But it's part of the challenge, right? I'm trying to challenge myself with these dot cards. There's not enough difference in that one now. Let's put some more dark green on the one above it. I also want to darken up the one at the bottom. There, I guess that'll work. Actually, I do want a little more contrast up here. Okay, on to the next one. Starting with that nice dark jadeite. Running out of my fuchsite, but let's get some of that in here. Every now and then picking up a little bit more color and charging it in if I want it darker. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it now. This is a random palette mix, the different colors on my palette. I mean, you know, it's the greens we're using, but it's the green palette mud I've got going on. Yeah, the jadeite is, I think I said this already, the jadeite is definitely the darkest. I can't get more of that sparkly one off of there for the top. Okay, one tree left. Let's try to use the lightest for the bottom and see how this works. I feel like I need to have more of this down in here to pull that darker color down. Maybe these two colors just don't like to play together too much. So if you're trying this at home, you obviously don't have to stick to these colors that I have on this little dot chart. I just thought it'd be fun to sort of challenge myself, but you know, it would probably be easier if you picked a handful of your favorites or a custom palette that you really enjoy and doing it that way. Eventually, I'd like to get through all of my little dot cards that I have here with these Daniel Smith colors and do some sort of a painting with each card, depending on what the colors are, what maybe it inspires me to do. I wonder if I tip this up a little bit. There we go. That's my problem. I should have this thing tilted up. Of course, now that I'm right at the end of doing what I've decided I'm going to do for these trees. There, I'm gonna let those dry before I take the tape, the black tape off. I'll go ahead and take the little white guide tapes off now. I just want the paper to dry flat again before I take off the black tape. I think I'm happier with these ones. I think taking out that yellowy serpentine green and not putting the trunks in, I'm happier with these ones. So I'm gonna let these dry and we will move on to the next card. Okay, time to decorate our Christmas trees. I have decided I don't like these first ones. Maybe they'll be used as backups. I just am not as happy with these ones as I am with these ones, so I'm just gonna go ahead with these ones. And I've got a few things here. I have my Liquitex acrylic inks, and I have a gold, a silver, and a copper, and a white, in case I decide I want like snow or highlights or anything like that. And I have a couple of things. I've got a couple of brushes here, just a small size 0 regular round, and then this really long, oops, and then this really long like a rigger, like you're supposed to get nice long lines and stuff like that. I did some experiments with these different brushes and a couple of dip pens, and I think I like the dip pens better. For some reason this acrylic ink, it doesn't really flow very nicely off of these brushes. It's too thick or something. So I'm going to stick with dip pens. I also have a silver paint marker if I decide I want to use this, but for now I'm going to stick with, I think, some gold ink on the Christmas trees. Okay, let's just grab one here. I'm actually going to put a little bit of distilled water and mix it with some ink to make it just a little bit flowier. And I'm going to put it in this little thing so it's easier for me to dip my pen into without having to leave the lid off of this. I'm not going to water it down a lot, just a little bit. I mean, it's pretty fluid, but I think it's the metallic particles. They just need a little bit more spacing or something in them. Start with my little quill brush here. Stir that up. Okay. Ugh, I don't know why this is making me nervous, but this part's making me nervous. Okay, let's just start with the star on the top, shall we? I'm gonna stick a trunk down here, just a skinny line, I think, of a trunk. And I'm sort of imagining like some swirling sparkles or something around the tree, swirling gold sparkles. I also feel like maybe I watered this down just a smidge too much. I'm gonna add some more ink in there. So I think maybe starting from the star, I think the sparkles are gonna come down. Maybe they'll come down and start going behind it like this. Make a couple of swoopy lines. And then they'll come out on this side. And then I want them to go over the front of the tree here. So, see this angle? The surface of this watercolor paper is maybe not ideal for a calligraphy dip pen like this. You can hear it, it's really like scratching there, but it is what we have. It is what we are going with. And then I guess it would go in behind it again and back out over here. Yes, and over again. No, let's go up here and then back in behind it, and one last swirl over the front here. My paper is a little warped. Even though I kept it laying flat while it dried, it still warped a little bit. But I think when I attach it to the cards, it'll help to hold it flatter, because the card itself is pretty straight. Ooh, whoops. Big blob there. Okay, let's put a star right in here. Don't think that made it better, but that's okay. I did want to add some stars and sparkles and stuff anyways. I wasn't really expecting it to be that big, but I might use a paintbrush for these dots actually. Get a few more sparkles in there. Okay, so I can't push very hard on this brush because it makes a big mess, or this pen. Let me just get some tissue and see if I can't blot that up a little bit. Very light pressure I need to have, and I am pretty heavy-handed, so that is a tall order for me. Ah! Alright. Maybe I'm also going to make some round gold ornaments. Let's just put this aside for a second. And let's pull out the brush. Get some sparkles going around. Never feel like I'm random enough with my sparkles. Kind of given the look I was going for or imagining. Maybe these blobs, I'll turn them into like stars. Slightly wonky fat star. Better than a blob though, right? I need to have another star to balance it out a little, I think. A couple more maybe. Put one right here. And I just splattered on my page. So just a couple extra sparkles, right? What do I think? What do I think? I think it's not bad. I think I need to widen my sparkles now that I've made that mess over there. I need to put some dots right on these lines. Okay, well there is some sparkly stars and garlands in the gold here. I think I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I'll reevaluate and move on to the next one. I want to do something similar but maybe just a little different. I'll do this brush, or this dip pen this time. Nice big traditional 5-point star. You can already tell it's gonna be all wonky. I am so bad at drawing stars. It's easier if I just sort of start with a general shape and then it's sort of blobby and I just keep building it out until it looks more like a star. Actually, I've done worse than that. That's not bad. I think I'm gonna put this one in like a pot. Like, it's difficult drawing on this texture. Oh, I made that way off centered. Because as you're drawing, the pen will move in a slight direction away from where you were headed. Do I want to fill in the star? Let's add some decorations and I'll think about it. So I think I'm going to do some big round baubles because who can't do a circle? Watch me screw up every single circle now. Circles are just somewhat controlled blobs. Sticking to it. And then maybe I'll do some smaller little sparkly dots. Or maybe I should do some like these too. Keep stirring it up because the actual sparkles keep settling to the bottom. I think I'm going to give another coat on the pot down here. And yeah, I think I do want to fill in that star at the top. Okay, here's the second one. Now the third one. I think I might want to actually try some splatter. Yee. Just saying that makes me nervous. What shall we splatter with? First, I want to lay down a couple of paper towels to protect this, which I'm actually already getting a little dirty. So, paintbrush. Get some ink in there. Turn it a little. It's actually messier than I thought it would be. But we'll roll with it. It's just a sparkly, splattery tree. I suppose you could have like masked that off if you wanted just more of the sparkles around there. That would have been thinking. I wasn't doing that. And this one also needs a star, of course. And give it a little bit of a trunk. Just very simple because there's already so much going on with all the splatters. And maybe I'll give it like a base like that. Do I want to leave it like that or do I want to give it some more? I'm going to leave it like that. Don't overwork it, right? Don't overwork it. So there are the three trees. Sort of whimsical, spirally looking one. Sort of more bold and geometric one. This gold spot here is really weird. It's like super dark and dull. I wonder what it got mixed with. Strange. And then our just like loose and splattery card. I think I might make that star a little bit darker and brighter, but other than that, I think I'll leave it. So yeah, that was the first part of my card challenge, and as soon as I have the second or third, if that happens to be that way, up, I will leave a list right here. And thanks for watching, and until the next video, bye, have a great day.